Access security policy principles, things that you'll want to be looking at. If we were looking at mandatory access control, these would be in the compartment. Need to know. No one should be divulged information unless they have a reason to know it. You don't know it, you can't leak it. It can't hurt confidentiality. Least privilege. No one should be given any more rights or privileges than they need to do their job. You're not being friendly, you're not being nice by giving them more rights and privileges. You're giving them the ability to mess something up and get themselves in trouble. Long time ago, I heard the phrase, it is the duty of system administrators to shepherd their users. A shepherd doesn't let sheep stray away from the flock and do dumb things. He keeps them constrained, to keep them safe from the wolf. Well, you don't allow users to be able to do things that stray away from what they should be doing because they'll get themselves in trouble. You protect them. And finally, separation of duties. No one person should do a task from beginning to end all by themselves. To allow someone to do it all the way through is to invite fraud, such as if Joe enters the payroll data, Joe prints out the payroll checks, and I also happen to manage the general ledger, you know what this is going to mean? I know what it's going to mean. New car time. And no one's going to understand why I have a Ferrari for the weekend. It's going to be a good thing for me, but a bad thing for the organization. Put someone else in a process. Split it up. Have someone else manage the general ledger. They're going to see entries that don't make sense. Have someone else print out the payroll check and someone enter the data. So someone enters strange data, the guy prints it out, goes, why is Joe's check about 1 digit larger than everyone else's? Why is he making more than the CEO? That's a little odd. It was a lot of overtime. No, there's not that much overtime in a week. Split it up. Now, I'm reminded of a scandal that happened with McDonald's. Their Monopoly game, one of their early ones. Well, they were offering all these wonderful prizes, and people were going in, buying their food, getting the pieces. Turns out there were winners. All the prizes were awarded, but all the big prizes went into this one little area of the country. It turned out the company that did the printing of the pieces, before they would glue them closed, they knew what every piece was, and they were taking all the good ones and giving it out to relatives and friends. So all the big prizes were won in one little area. Scandal. They didn't control who printed, who sealed them, who distributed them. They let one company do it, and they committed fraud. That's why McDonald's had a second Monopoly game with double the prizes to make good against what would have been viewed as fraud in the first against the consumers. By offering double the prizes, they were basically saying, here's our way of making good. It was unintentional. Separating those duties means if someone wants to commit fraud, they've got to work with someone else. Yeah, there were people working together in McDonald's, but generally working together to commit fraud is rare. People might be willing to do it when they're acting alone. You might be willing to commit fraud. I'm willing to commit fraud, but I'm not sure that you're willing to trust me because we get caught. I'm going to turn state's evidence on you, and I'm going to walk, no charges filed against me, and you get to spend time in the big house.